Looks like former President Trump still has long coattails as 23 of the 27 candidates he backed going to last night's primaries won their races. But it's still not over in the state of Pennsylvania, where a key race that could shape the future of the Senate is still undecided. Trump-backed celebrity doctor Mehmet Oz holds a razor-thin advantage over former finance executive David McCormick as the vote count continued into today. Here was Dr. Oz to his supporters last night.
When all the votes are tallied, I am confident we will win. We are making a ferocious charge, but when it's this close, what else would you expect? Everything about this campaign has been tight.
Joining me now with Reaction American Majority CEO, Ned Ryun, our friend. Ned, good to see you, buddy.
Good to be with you, Buck.
So, was this pretty much exactly what you expected? What are your top takeaways from this last night, man? What do you see?
Boy, it was a lot. It was a lot closer than I thought it would be, Buck. I
Really?
mean, going into
Wow.
it, yeah, looking at the Trafalgar poll and Susquehanna, I really thought it'd be Oz and then Barnett and then McCormick. What I think happened, and perfectly understandable, is that Barnett and Oz split the MAGA vote. Obviously, Oz had the Trump endorsement, and that took some of the MAGA crowd with him, and Barnett took the rest and allowed McCormick to run right up the middle. And again, for those that were watching, McCormick had an 8,000 vote lead for most of the night. And then Oz, as of this afternoon, Oz, I think, has about a 3,000 vote lead. You know, I think they're still counting some mail-in ballots. It will go to a recount. I mean, less than half a point in Pennsylvania triggers a recount. But if Oz holds to a 2,000 to 3,000 vote lead, I don't see any recount overturning that election. But a lot closer than I thought it would be.
Now, what do you make of all the analysis around the Trump endorsement component of this? People are trying to say his influence is still pretty dominant, but
It is.
What do you make of it?
No, it is. When you have a very clear cut, basically a two-person race, as we saw in Ohio, you know, JD was down 6 points before the endorsement, wins by 8. You start to look at some of these other Senate races. There was a poll that just came out of Missouri showing Eric Greitens in the lead by 9, but also showing that whoever Trump endorses gets about a 23-point bump from that. We've seen the same looking at Arizona Senate primary as well. It's about a 21-point bump for whoever gets the Trump endorsement, if it really narrows down to just a couple people. When it gets to a really hotly contested three-way race, it's still the difference, but you're just not going to see as significant a bump, especially when there's two MAGA candidates, quote unquote.
Yeah, I mean, what did you think were the key differences for the electorate in Pennsylvania? I mean, I know you're not far away there in Virginia, but what do you think were the key differentiation points specifically between McCormick and Oz?
Well, McCormick, I'll start with McCormick because I was in the category of Buck anybody but McCormick because of his very close ties and the fact that he's made a lot of money doing direct business with the Chinese, communist Chinese. And that to me was one of the reasons. Again, Oz is no conservative rock star. And I think everybody's fully aware of that. But he's been loyal to Trump. And I think that those were some of the dynamics that came down to. McCormick had said some things January 6th about Trump. And that really resonated with Trump, not in a positive way. Oz was very helpful to Trump in 2016. So it really came down to just some bigger issues for Trump and endorsing Oz over McCormick. And then when it came down to some of these issues, it's the normal stuff and looking at immigration, inflation, all these things. But this really came down to, like, is it going to be the Trump endorsement or is it going to be McCormick? And in my mind, honestly, Buck, to be very blunt, I didn't care who won as long as it wasn't McCormick.